It's time for the Deron Harris podcast. Here he is, Deron Harris.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the program, man. It is 2026 and this is the 5th season of the Deron Harris podcast. I honestly didn't think I would make it, but apparently somebody's listening, so here I am. And to all those people that are still listening, I want to say right up front that I really do appreciate you tuning in to my podcast every week or every couple of weeks or whenever you're able to tune in. I sincerely appreciate that. And it means that, for me anyway, it means that I am giving some of you some content to think about, some things that you can take with you, some things that you can apply in your everyday life. And that makes me feel good. That makes me feel like I'm doing my part to help us along in society. So I'm talking about, I'm really kind of just potlucking it, just kind of reflecting on 2025 and some of the shit that we went through, just to really, I don't know, just to kind of reflect on some of these things and see where we're going to end up in 2026. It is a brand new year, but we have a lot of obstacles to overcome for the next 3 years, I think. But it's looking, for some people, it's looking real dire. Real dire here in the country as we watch what's happening on television, as we watch what's happening here in our streets. There's been some progress made, but it doesn't really seem like it because how do I put this? There's somebody that really shouldn't have control of the reins in control of the reins. And they are gearing up for this person to not be in the position of power anymore. So they are actively grooming his successor. And that's a scary prospect because, while some people in this country, well, I'm just going to be fucking honest. This is my podcast. This ain't social media. I say what the fuck I want. White people. There's some white people here that really, really want to see this country turn into a white country. They want to have everybody that is not white either deported or incarcerated or held back, or they don't mind what happens to these people who are not white. They don't give a fuck. They just want this to be a whites only, or at least a whites first country. That's what they want the United States to be. They seem to think that that's what God wants. They claim it at every turn. This is our country, and actually, really, it's not your country. This country was stolen, but they are whitewashing that truth. They're trying to make it seem like it was ordained for them to be here, that this was their promised land, that this is where they were supposed to be, and that God himself has touched the white people of America and made this country for them. And that's bullshit. That's just, I don't even know how else to put that. That is unequivocal bullshit. And I don't subscribe to it. So that's what I'm talking about today. A bunch of potluck type stuff, and I'm going to get to that here in just a minute. But first, I want to check with everybody mentally. I know we just entered a new year. We're going through the winter seasons, and I know during the winter months there's a lot of mental issues. There's a lot of depression and anxiety that comes, and especially with, like I said, with what's going on here in the country as far as our politics are concerned. As far as our society here in America is concerned, we are, it is believed, or it is looking like this administration is trying to fracture us. And I know that a lot of people have great anxiety about that. I am one of those people. I suffer from major depressive disorder, which doesn't go away, and extreme anxiety, which can be managed. So I take medication, like I said, and I also attend therapy, and I am the biggest advocate for these things. And I say this every week, and I know probably I lose some people at this point in the podcast because they just don't want to hear about it, but I know that some people that suffer through these things, that they need this encouragement. So this part of my podcast that I do every week is for the people that need encouragement. And I want you to know that I am here with you, that if there's ever a time that you need any help, you can email my producer, and we will try our hardest. I mean, even if I got to get on and talk to you myself, I'm dedicated to that. I want people to not feel that anxiety, to not feel that pinch, to not feel like they're being crushed by everything in society. So it's very, very important to me. So to advocate for this and to encourage people to go out and find help. And please don't sit there, and do something that you'll regret later, or that will take you away from the people that love you. Please don't sit another minute in despair or depression or anxiety. There is plenty of people out there that are still here, still qualified, and still willing to help you. So get up, make this New Year's resolution to get up and treat yourself with respect and with love, and go out and get yourself some help. Could dedicate that to yourself right now, because it is absolutely 100% worth it. I was in a space not too long ago where I felt like I didn't want to be here anymore. And because of therapy and being able to talk through a lot of my problems, now I can't even imagine me even thinking that way. I love myself so much. So I just wanted to get that out there for everybody. Now, listen, I'm going to take a quick, fast break. And when I come back, we're going to get into some potluck about 2025 rolling into 2026. I'm Deron Harris, and this is my podcast.
This is the Deron Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Deron Harris.
Hey, y'all, what's good? Welcome back to the program. So 2025 is over. 2026 is here. So what does that mean for us? What does coming to this year mean? Because, a lot of people are already, up in the air. They don't know what the hell is happening. They don't know what's going on. They don't know. There's so many things that happened in 2025 that it was just a barrage of shit that just happened all at the same time that nobody could really keep up with it. From the signing of the countless executive orders to people being dragged off the streets by ICE agents. Just so many different things that have happened here in this country that is discouraging and off-putting and sad. So many things have happened this year that have put people in a state of disbelief. People aren't so optimistic anymore. And like I said, there are some supporters of, what's going on that are out there, and they're living in their heyday. They are out here, cheering this guy on like he's really making a difference here. Well, he's making a difference, but it's not really a good one. The message that he's sending is clear and evident, and that message is that whiteness is first and everything else is down the ladder. And like I said, there are some people who are absolutely eating it up. J.D. Vance stood on stage and he told white people that they didn't have to apologize for being white anymore, which motherfuckers was like, when did anybody ever ask you to apologize for that shit anyway? They're making up shit. They're making up things for people to get riled up and excited about, to get angry over, in order to create this division that we have going on in our country now. That's this current administration. That's their goal, is to divide the unity that we've been working on for so long. Yesterday, January 1st, Trump signed an executive order basically saying that the federal government will no longer enforce discrimination claims in the new year. They're just not going to do it. They're not. While it still remains illegal to discriminate against people, they're just not going to enforce it. And that sends a subliminally clear message to a lot of business owners who support this I guess this administration. Yeah, this administration. So people that support this administration, but my thing is this. I mean, it's clear, it's obvious who they want to segregate. They want to keep themselves separate from everybody else, and they really want to keep themselves separate from black people. But black people don't give a fuck. There, I said it. Black people, and while you're at it, Latin people, they don't really give a fuck. They don't give a fuck that white people want to separate themselves from everybody else. We don't care about that. You guys want to go over there and do your thing? Fine. Whatever it is that floats your boat, just leave us the fuck alone. But that's the problem. They can never leave us alone, because the fear is if we become self-reliant, if we become powerful, more powerful than we are, then the tables will turn and whiteness will become the second chair. And that is what they are fighting against tooth and nail. They are fighting, and I don't give a fuck what people tell people. That's the shit they're fighting against. They're fighting to keep whiteness first. But everybody else, slowly but surely is dismantling that. They're dismantling this motherfuckers want to be white all the time shit. They just don't want that shit all the time. But people are desperately trying to uphold whiteness as the benchmark. But it's evident, it's clear that it's not. I mean, there's been a lot of symbolism as of late, and it's been subliminal in some parts, but it's also been blatant in others. Jake Paul got his ass knocked the fuck out by Anthony Joshua. And if you saw all the publicity leading up to that fight, if you saw all of the symbolism leading up to that fight, it just seems to me, and this is just my opinion, it just seems to me like they are trying to convince white America that they are this master or this superior race. But every time they get that shit gets debunked. I mean, he came out, talking big shit, like he was just going to floor Anthony, a heavyweight champion, like this guy wasn't shit. But he came out he came out in dressed like Hulk Hogan, to just to be clear, just like one of the before he passed, one of the biggest closeted racists, and actually in latter years it wasn't even closeted, he was just racist, that we knew of. Hulk Hogan. I used to be a big fan of Hulk Hogan until I found out what he was really about. But this guy, Jake Paul, I guess he idolized this guy, and he brought him out. He brought out his garb, I guess, to pay homage to Hulk Hogan at the fight. He came out to Tekashi 6ix9ine and his snitch ass, nigga this, nigga that, nigga. And no niggas even support this motherfucker. But that's who he came. He came out, had to, and then Anthony Joshua proceeded to fucking clean his fucking clock. But you see a lot of that. There's a lot of that. This confrontation, this violent confrontation, this violent physical confrontation that they want to have. They want to challenge. They stand up on a regular basis. I can't tell you how many shorts or reels that I've seen of mediocre white dudes stepping up, challenging some black dude while he at work, or some black dude while he trying to work out, or some black dude standing on the subway platform, and then promptly getting their fucking ass whooped. This shit happens a lot. This shit is happening a lot. They don't really, they think they do, but they really don't want the smoke. They really don't. They really think they do. They really think they built for that. But they really don't. They really aren't. They not built for that. They don't want that smoke with us. You know what I'm saying? They think they do. Then they stand up, oh, we got our guns, like we don't have fucking guns. Oh, we go to the range like we don't, like motherfuckers don't practice, like motherfuckers don't, like we just don't know what the fuck we doing. It's bullshit. Like motherfuckers ain't gonna retaliate. We're just gonna march through here and go door to door. Like it's gonna be that easy for your ass to march through the fucking projects. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You just talking out the side of your fucking neck because of because of the way these motherfuckers are programming you. You're being programmed by these people, by the way. These people are telling you to go out here and get your ass whipped. They're telling you, they're giving you the balls to step up and say some outlandish shit. That was the year 2025. 2025 was the year that motherfuckers really doubled down and owned their racism. They really stepped out of the shadows and decided that, I'm a racist and I'm going to say what I'm going to say what I want to whoever I want. That was 2025. This guy, has made it popular to be a racist. He almost mainstream, almost like it's something that you need to be. He's made it so it's easy to hate black people. It's easy to hate brown people. He's made it so that it's easy to look into our faces and equate us with being less than or undeserving. He has made that easy. And a lot of people have stood up in it. 2025 was also the year that we saw the fucking Ku Klux Klan and white supremacist groups and all this shit marching through our city streets as if to say that, we're taking over. 2025 was the year of white folks really coming into their own as racists. It really was. A lot of white folks stood up and just owned it. Stood up and just, and they defended with some of the most outlandish arguments in the world. And some of the arguments are simply just because they're black. I don't like them because they're black. And you don't know why you don't like us. You just don't like us because Fox News has told you not to like us. On top of this administration telling people they don't have to apologize for being white anymore and that white people are being discriminated. But get the fuck out of here, man. They're trying to put whiteness in a category where it is being oppressed. Whiteness has never been oppressed here in the United States. Not once, not never. Not once. Not overly policed. Not fucking economically disadvantaged. Not once. So what they're doing is they're trying to make it so that whiteness can go into any forum and be the dominant and be the dominant force wherever they go. Even if they go into our spaces, black and brown spaces, that they are to be the dominant force in that space. That's bullshit. That to me is that's crybaby bitch energy. That's really what it is. Oh, you have something that we don't have, but we want to have it, so we're going to make it so that we can have it too. It's not just yours. And they do the same thing with all the cultures. They do the same thing with all the cultures. It's like watching a fucking room full of fucking overweight rednecks walk into a Mexican restaurant and sit down and eat Mexican food, and enjoy their food after voting to have these people forcefully, removed from their families and their businesses and jobs and, obligations that they have in this country. You voted for that. And now you want to go sit up in this fucking restaurant. That's the logic. That is the nerve of these people, of the people that are supporters of this administration. 2025, we saw a man. They're trying. It's still like it's a martyring that really didn't take. They trying to martyr this dude, but so many people are like, man, fuck this dude. You know what I'm saying? They iced him out. They iced him out. He was talking at the college, and he caught one in the neck for talking shit. And it wasn't us, and they wanted us. They wanted, and see, that's the thing. They wanted it to be us so bad. But the thing about it is you think, white folks think that black people care about the shit they do. We don't. All right, let's just cut that. And I've heard somebody, why are you guys so? No, it's you guys are obsessed with us. Stop it. Okay, stop. Put that shit, because we don't fucking care. We're too busy trying to get our own shit up off the ground to be worried about what the fuck y'all doing. But you are so consumed with us working on this shit to get up off the ground that you are making all kinds of, still to this day, making all kinds of obstacles and things to put in our way so that we do not succeed, so that we cannot succeed. You want to cut our education. You want to cut our health care. You want to make us sick. You don't want us to be educated because you don't want us to be qualified for the jobs that you're qualified for. That's really what it is. You don't want us to be in the positions that you're in because you want to have those positions for yourself, because that's where all the revenue is made. You don't want us to make any money. You want us to struggle and suffer, because when people struggle and suffer, in poverty, conditions change. People commit more crime. People are out in the street more. People are willing to do things that go against their morals in order to survive. And guess who's there waiting? The police. Because we are overly policed as it is. But that's what they want. They want us to be less educated. They don't want us to have jobs so that we commit more crime so that we can be incarcerated. See how that works? And this was all talked about in this Project 2025. They've been talking about this shit for years. But the issue now is this. For them, anyway, is people are starting to be aware of that. People are starting to be aware of the malicious things that you are trying to do to us. But people, again, black folks don't care. You've been trying to hold us under fucking water since y'all brought us here. You've been trying to hold us down since y'all brought us here. You have tried to put so many obstacles in our fucking way. And even to this day, Popeye's chicken, one of the biggest obstacles we have. Fucking fake hair and all that fucking beauty supply bullshit, one of the biggest obstacles we have. But we still thrive on your motherfucking ass. We still get up and power through the bullshit you throw at us. Every day. Every fucking day, black people, black and brown people, we get up and we show the fuck up. And we show out. We do that shit every day. Now, do we have issues in our communities? Absolutely. But so do y'all. So do you. You are no different. You are no better. And I'm really over this movement that is telling white people that they are oppressed or they're at a disadvantage. Get the fuck out of here. The whole shit was made for y'all. You're not at a fucking disadvantage. Okay? Get that through your fucking head right now. You're not at a disadvantage. You're being coddled and you're being set up so that you can be dominant for the rest of the days here. But motherfuckers are onto that shit and they are fighting you tooth and nail and you don't like it. I'm going to take a quick fast break. And when I come back, we're going to keep breaking down 2025 into 2026. This is the Deron Harris Podcast. I'll be right back.
Now, back to the Deron Harris Podcast. Take it, D.
Hey, y'all, back to the show. Today, I'm talking about the end of 2025 and what we can expect for 2026. So, I wanted to talk about, I'm from New York, so I wanted to talk about the new mayor of New York City that has pissed off all of these conservatives, all these MAGA Republicans, all of these people who wanted to who want to make this an all-white space. But, I mean, shout out to New York, man. I mean, shout out to New York for not falling for none of that shit. I mean, do you see New York? Do you see my city? Did you see what they did at the Lincoln Center? I mean, at the Kennedy Center for Christmas? Did you see what they did at the Kennedy Center for New Year's? If you're unaware, after this guy put his name up on the building, they canceled the shows. They just canceled shit. They canceled the Christmas. That shit's been going on for years. The Kennedy Center Christmas for years. This dude puts his name on it, canceled. Now some of the people, they want to sue the guy for $1 million or something like that for canceling. Fuck you, is what he's basically told him. Which I'm on board with that. And then they turn around and did the same shit for the New Year's show. As long as this motherfucker, I mean, and this is another thing. I've always said this. Donald Trump is from New York. He's from New York, and New Yorkers don't like him. That ought to tell you something, but it don't. It just fucking doesn't. It doesn't tell. That ought to tell you something that this motherfucker's hometown don't fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? In the hood, we feel like this. If it's a motherfucker in the hood that everybody knows that nobody in the fucking hood fucks with, why would you fuck with this guy? If everybody who knows this motherfucker don't fuck with him, it's because you stupid. It's because you're stupid and you let this motherfucker pull bullshit over your eyes, and then you smeared it all in your eyes, and now you sitting there with shitty eyes looking at the world through shitty eyes, through a shitty fucking lens. Look at you. That's why shit ain't going the way you think it's going. You thought motherfuckers was just gonna come in here and bulldoze shit. Nah, man. No. Because we are in the way, and we are not afraid of you. But that's where you want us. You want us to be in this subservient position. But shout out to Zohran Mamdani, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, well, if he does a good job or whatever, that remains to be seen. Day 2 on the job, okay? Day 2 on the job. But he's off to a running start trying to get his shit up. Now, I for one am always willing to say this. Do your job, man. Do the shit. You know, I'm willing to give you the opportunity to do your job. I do know that there's going to be obstacles that you run up against, that people are going to, they're going to try and fight you tooth and nail on a lot of these things that you propose. But that's every politician, every politician. But notice it's the same thing happened with Barack Obama when he got elected president. When somebody, like a minority or somebody they don't necessarily approve of, gets elected, immediately they go to so much scrutiny, so much, he can't possibly be able to do this, and so much negative sentiment and feeling and counter encouragement. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They immediately try to tear you as far apart as they can. And they can't really say, because we don't like black people. They try and rip you up in other spaces. But the thing I liked about Barack Obama, and the same thing I liked about Zohran Mamdani, is they were prepared for that. They were prepared for what people were going to say about them, for what people are saying about them. They're prepared, and just like a duck, they let it roll off their back. They just let it roll off, and because they realize they have a job to do. And for all you people out there, I just want to let y'all know, let you know, if anybody MAGA is listening to this podcast, I just want to let you motherfuckers know, Donald Trump is not a good president, okay? He's not a good president. As a matter of fact, he's the worst president that we've ever had in modern history. And he can't hold a candle to what Barack Obama did. And I know you motherfuckers want it so bad, but the only thing you have is that he was black. That's the only shit you got. It's the only shit you got. So in that, I don't accept what the fuck you say. What the fuck it's just your bias. It's just your hatred. That's all this is. And I do not accept that. Your boy is incompetent. You know he's incompetent. But you sit there and you suck his dick like it's the last dick on earth. But that's all right, because everybody is going to fucking find out. Everybody's finding out. Everybody's saying, look at the poll numbers. Look at his poll numbers. The motherfucker is horrible. But that's okay, though. That's all right. Y'all keep rocking, because there are some things happening here in 2026, starting with New York City. And I like how they had the fucking the little conversation they met in the Oval Office or whatever, and Zoharam straight up called him, "You're a fascist." Straight up told him, "Yeah, fuck you." I mean, basically, I'm gonna do what I need to do for the city of New York. He didn't bend to him, and Trump basically, "Oh yeah, I would feel safe living in New York under this guy." Yeah, of course you would. Of course you would. But make no mistake about it. This person totally has all. He's got his plans. He definitely has his plans, and they're going to go push forward with his plans. But I think Zohran Mamdani has some plans as well. And I think, people say, "Oh, this is going to be bad for New York." Well, the majority of New Yorkers that voted don't seem to think so. They don't seem to think that. They seem to think that he's going to be all right. He's going to be better than the other two motherfuckers, because they didn't want to go back to fucking Cuomo, and I can't fucking blame them. And they didn't want fucking Curtis Sliwa because he's a conservative in New York. I'm sorry to say, New York is never going to be this conservative place. It's not, because it doesn't want to be. New York doesn't want to be a conservative place. If you've never been to New York, it ain't nothing like none of these conservative places. Nothing. And it will never, ever be that. And I want to say the same thing about Chicago. You know what I'm saying? The state itself, the state of Chicago, outside of Chicago, yeah, it may be, conservative. The rural areas may be conservative, but the city of Chicago, very blue, wants to be blue, doesn't want to be red, stands up and fights tooth and nail against that bullshit every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? There's several places here that just don't want to hear it. All that bullshit, all that rhetoric, and I listen. I always say it like this too. I don't get it. Maybe I'm a dumbass, but I really don't get conservative politics, and I don't get people who continue to vote for conservative politics. Because think about it. 9 of the top 10 states with the poorest fucking healthcare are conservative states. They lead the charge in a lot of top 10s of bad shit in this country. They lead the charge for the worst infant mortality rates, worst education, worst job growth. Just bad shit. They're just bad. Just bad policy. They use fear in order to get you to vote for them, though. Oh my God, they're coming for your jobs. Oh my God, they're going to be infiltrating our space. Oh my God, we can't let that happen. That's how they get the votes. They scare motherfuckers into it. And they appeal to their hate. They appeal to their bias. They enforce that. They condition these people into it. And that's why they vote against their own interests consistently, because they believe they're voting against this perceived enemy that they are being told is their enemy. And they're brainwashed by it. And they're happy to sit and fucking waller all down in it. And that's the problem. I just don't understand why y'all continue to vote for your own fucking demise. If you know these people are fighting against education, why do you vote for that? So you can get more tax cuts because you got a little bit of a business? That's why you do it? You disenfranchise some people so that you can have a little bit more? What kind of shit is that? What kind of fucking, truth, justice, and the American way is that? What the fuck is that? That's you voting for your privilege. Is all it is. You're voting to keep your privilege intact. That's all you're doing. You're not making a difference. You're not helping kids. You're not, helping the elderly. You're not, none of that. You're stripping away things, these vital things that fellow Americans need. Stripping them away without a care so that you could get a couple of more fucking dollars. You're despicable. You're a douchebag. You're a cock rocket is what you are. That's what you are. If you can sit up and justify voting to purposefully disenfranchise people, that's what the fuck you are. You're fucking recessive chromosome is what the fuck you are. You're not an American. You're a racist is what you are. You're a bigot is what you are. You're a classist is what you are. But what you don't realize is they don't give a fuck about you either. Because while you think a lot of these people thought they were going to be like, oh, this is going to be great. As we're seeing across the country, a lot of people are on the struggle bus right next to the same people that they voted against. See how that works? On the same plane, look right across the aisle from this same person, and you are on the same level. Because they look at all of us the same. They want us down here fighting amongst race. They want us fighting they want us fighting horizontally instead of vertically. That's what it is. It is the top punching down on the rest of us. But they got some of you stupid motherfuckers thinking that y'all at the top with them. That's the problem. And you're not. You're closer to the bottom with everybody else. But you don't think so because you have white skin. And he says that he's going to protect you and he's going to make things for you. But he's just screwing you. And you love it. That's the problem. So back on the city of New York for a few minutes. The people in the city of New York have basically shown, and not for nothing, I don't care what you say, New York City is still a benchmark place in this country. Everybody looks at, in the world really, everybody looks at New York to see. Everybody looks at New York for just to kind of to get a gauge on what's going on here in the country. They look at New York City for fashion, for economics, everything. New York City is the mecca in this country for pretty much everything. People pay attention to it. So, even though, and you can see what happened. You can see what happened in New York. This guy gave his endorsement to Cuomo. The administration gave their whole endorsement to Cuomo. And what happened? Didn't matter how much he endorsed it. The people of New York City spoke, and they didn't want that motherfucker either. And Cuomo was all mad and booty hurt. And go lay your ass the fuck down, Mario, or Andrew. Go lay the fuck out, dude. That's what you need to do. Go lay your ass the fuck down. Just like, listen, and I feel like this too. In 2026, and I'm going to start wrapping it up. In 2026, there are some things. Now, we had a Democrat just flip a Senate seat in someplace, Arkansas, someplace, one deep red place. Flip a Senate seat there. So that's telling. That's a little telling. And what that is telling is people are fed up with what's going on in the country right now, and people are starting to gear up for these midterms. Now, the midterms are very, very important because, it's a Democratic opportunity to take back some power. But the Democrats don't really have anybody, okay? There's a lot of wet fucking lettuce on the Democratic side. Now there's some fire spitters, but there's a lot of wet-ass lettuce. Charles Schumer, again, needs to go lay the fuck down in 2026. In 2026, Charles Schumer needs to fucking wrap it up. Okay, as the Democratic Party leader, needs to wrap it on the fuck up. Hakeem Jeffries needs to step the fuck down. He has no fucking backbone whatsoever. There's so many more people who are poised or in a better position to lead the Democratic Party. Now, the Democrats this year, they're going to have a lot of fucking problems because people don't fucking trust them. People don't fucking like them. You got no fucking backbone. You don't stand up for shit. You lie to motherfuckers left and right. You say you're going to do shit that you never fucking do. And people are fed up with that. So in this, while the Republicans do have some severe issues, the Democrats, you motherfuckers ain't out of the fucking clear either. You got some work to do. And you got some bridges to repair. You really do, because motherfuckers are jumping ship left and right. And this is going to be the year that you find out what the fuck you're really made of. That's the truth. And anybody here sitting here saying that this is going to be a cakewalk and you got another thing coming. You need a wake-up call. This is going to be a fight until the last day that this person is in office. And then after that, it's going to be more of a fight to maintain that edge. If you are able to maintain, because people are saying that, J.D. Vance has a lot of momentum behind him. And you can rest assured right now that these fucking think tanks are back there figuring it out, trying to figure out how to keep their hand on the motherfucking on the wheel, how to keep their foot on the fucking gas. That's what they're doing right now. They are figuring it out right now. These think tanks are working overtime. But one of the most famous think tanks, the Heritage Foundation, is people are jumping ship. They're looking for other places to go to. So beware of that, because those are the architects of what the fuck is going on now. So these architects, all these different people, are jumping ship to other organizations. Be mindful of that. Keep your eyes open for that. Stay woke, y'all. They trying to say that woke is dead. Nah, man. It ain't dead. Everybody's still wide the fuck awake. Wide the fuck awake. Stay that way. I'm going to say this and I'm going to wrap it up as soon as this fucking plane passes. I mean, why the fuck? 2025 was hard. It was scary. It was unpredictable. People did things that they never saw themselves doing because of fear. And I want to say this. Drop the fear. Stop being afraid. Drop that. Just stop being afraid and start challenging that. The reason why you're afraid is because you haven't challenged them, and they expect you not to challenge them. They expect that, but they crumble every single time you do. So don't stand by. Don't stand by. Stand up. Tell these people enough. Tell them, get the fuck out of my fucking face with that before you catch one. Start putting these bitches in their bitch-ass place. And you'll see how quickly this movement fractures. You'll see how quickly this movement just melts the fuck away. Put it right back to them. And don't be afraid. There is going to be some sacrifice. People are going to have to sacrifice. But trust me, that sacrifice is 100% worth it. Every single day of every single week, that sacrifice needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? That push needs to happen. That opposition needs to be fortified. And just like they pushed us back, it's our turn. We need to start pushing back on them. And people are doing that. So shout out to everybody who survived 2025. And shout out to everybody who made it to 2026. And shout out to everybody who is ready to see our country go in a different direction than this, and who are willing to stand up and take a stand against it. Shout out to you folks as well. And hopefully, I can encourage more people to be vocal, man. That's all it really takes, is be vocal, because when you start calling out shit, it doesn't stand up. It can't stand up, especially if it's wrong. Wrong shit does not stand up under constant scrutiny. It doesn't. If it's wrong, it collapses. Racism is wrong. Fucking call it out. Mash on it. Beat it down. And it collapses. It really does. It goes and cowers away with their tail. Why? Because racism is not intelligent. It's not. It's stupid. And intelligent people, well, they have a tendency to do a little bit better than stupid people. So, all right, folks, this is going to do it for the the first episode of 2026, y'all. It's my first episode of 2026. It is the first episode of my new season, but it is my 196th podcast episode. So I'm on the train to 200. That's 4 more episodes. So be up here on the 200 mark here soon. And like I said, I'm just getting started, and we're going to keep rocking. So thank you for joining me. I do appreciate y'all. And I promise in 2026 to try and give you guys even better content. So again, thank you very much. And I want to thank my parents for giving me the mouthpiece and the brain to think this shit up and say it out loud. I want to thank my wife for being my #1 fan and the person who encourages me the most. I want to thank my producer, Jesse Yandel, who is lights out every single week. I want to thank Gentry Thomas for the platform that I broadcast my bullshit to y'all every week. And last but not least, just like I did in the front, I want to do it in the back. I want to thank everybody out here listening to the Deron Harris podcast. I do appreciate y'all, man. I really do. And I hope that people are still tuning in. And I want to thank the people that tune in and don't tune in anymore. You guys definitely help me. I want to thank the people that tune in and is still tuned in. You know what I mean? I want to thank the people that tune in a little bit and then, tune off. I want to thank everybody. Anybody who listens, anybody who takes any of this information away, I want to thank you and tell you that I love you all very much. So, all right, y'all. So happy 2026. Go out there and be somebody. Until next week, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.
You've been listening to the Deron Harris podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DeronHarris.com.